Well, I've finally seen it. It's finally here, and it's finally the reality of I don't even know what to say. Oh my gosh. So hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review for Megalopolis. Now, first of all, I just want to say this. I don't understand, and it's baffled my brain. It truly, really has. I don't understand this in any way, shape, or form, how I missed this in cinema. I have no clue. As far as I'm aware, this did not get a cinematic release, but it says on IMDb that it came out in cinemas in 2024, which was last year, in September. I missed it. And I literally don't even remember in any way, shape, or form it coming into cinema. So I'm so confused. But without further ado, guys, those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. It's so good for you to be here. I really wholeheartedly, genuinely appreciate you clicking on this link. And those of you who've seen me before, welcome back. Thank you, seriously, genuinely, for clicking on this link and checking out this review for Megalopolis. Now, first of all, I just want to say, those of you who are new to my channel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the introduction. I'm going to roll the cast, and brace yourself because it is a massive studded cast. The synopsis, the runtime, all the sort of stuff that you want to know about this movie. And then after that, I'll roll my introduction, and then I'll talk about my opinion in dot point, because I took notes on watching this because I bought it on Blu-ray, about this movie. And then, yeah, you can have your opinion after it, and let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this movie, because I'm actually genuinely curious to know, A, if you saw it, and B, if you're going to go see it, what your thoughts are about it. And yeah, we'll talk about it. And the director of this movie, like, wow, seriously, wow. Anyway, guys, without further ado, before I roll the intro, if you'd be so kind, I'd really genuinely appreciate that so much. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the bell for notifications. That way, any video that I drop on my channel will be notified on your device that you're watching YouTube on straight away, and you won't miss out on anything that I drop on my channel. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate that. So without further ado, guys, my introduction. So, as you saw there, guys, Francis Ford Coppola. Now, I don't really ever persuade you or encourage people to go and do this, because like if you want to, you will, and if you don't, then you won't worry about it. But I just want to say, honestly, go and check out the IMDb trivia to this movie, because you'll actually be really pleasantly surprised of people who dropped out of this movie, and also the cast that were cast in this movie but ended up taking a different role, and then the replacements for this movie. And I was very, 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 very surprised about the cast that made it in this movie. And as you saw, the absolute mammoth lineup of cast in this movie, like it just goes on and on and on and on, like huge name actors in this movie. Like I was so blown away by the scope and the scale of the caliber of A-list actors in this movie. Like it is just outstanding. And a few dot points and notes that I want to talk about in this movie. Now, those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, I just want to let you know before I go any further, I actually won't be doing any spoilers. That's right, no spoilers in my movie reviews, because in my personal opinion, guys, and this is just my personal opinion, that spoilers aren't fair. So if you want to be spoiled by something in a movie review, just go and watch someone else's review, because you won't get them from here, or simply go and watch the movie for yourself. Now, should let you know that if you don't purchase this on DVD/Blu-ray, which I personally really encourage you to, if you haven't already, if you want to watch this on a streaming service, it's not free. Unfortunately, it's not free. However, it is available on these following platforms to watch this on. So you have it first on Amazon Prime for $3, YouTube for $6.99, and Google Play for $6.99. So if you do want to go and watch this like literally right after this review, that's the platforms that you can go and check it out on. And I personally, wholeheartedly, really applaud you to do that. Now, this is a bit of trivia, but this is in the trivia, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Francis Ford Coppola actually funded, wrote, produced, and directed this entire film himself. Now, anyone who know in any way, shape, or form, that is a mega undertaking, like a mammoth undertaking, which is a perfect segue into my first note of this movie. Talk about mammoth. Now, one thing that I've always loved when a director can visually show me as an audience member something that is large in itself, like a statue or something, but in a cinematic perspective, they show that, I'll say a statue in a way bigger scale. And I don't know why, but I have always, my entire life, I've always loved that. I've always loved that in cinema. That there's something about that a director can make something in a movie be so epically awesome in scale, and they show. I want to call it Greek statues, which is, I'm pretty sure it is Greek statues. There's a sequence in this movie where Caesar, played by the incredibly brilliant Adam Driver, when they show the sequence of him driving through the car and he's being chauffeured by Lawrence Fishburne, who plays a character, I think you pronounce it Fundy. I think that's how you pronounce it. It doesn't matter. Lawrence Fishburne is chauffeuring Adam Driver's character. Adam Driver's playing this character of Caesar. And when they're driving along and you see things on the sidewalk, like say hypothetically between two buildings or something like just on the side of the road, and they're massive, ginormous, absolutely huge statues on the side of the road. And I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to give it away what they're doing because I'm not going to spoil anything. But what they do to the statues and what the statues are actually doing, oh guys, it is so good. It is so amazing. It's so, I just love that. I love that they can digitally create sculptures / statues to look like that and behave the way that they did in this movie. It is so well done. There's a character in this movie, her character name is Sunny Hope Catalina, this girl here. One of the things in this movie that I thrive. You've got my full attention. You've got my full attention when you go this far in digital cinema. When when they show something so, I want to say so quote unquote mundane, like so simple, yet it's just so effective in the movie because it's something that you don't expect it to be. Now, when Sunny Hope Catalina, they show her in front of like photographers and the press and the media and stuff like that, and when Caesar, he comes on first and he's being really charming, he's being really funny, he's being really quirky. So he walks on in the middle of these people first, and he's like, hey, being fun, being active, being really, really vibrant, and just really showing off his character. And then she follows him in. I think that she's wearing a jacket over the top first, some sort of jacket. And I think that then she takes that off. And when she takes that off, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but what they have done with her dress. Now, her dress is one element of the movie that I really appreciated. And then something else happens in a sequence after that. And I'll talk about that in a second. But when you see what they do to her dress in this movie, oh man, I just love how they did that. I really loved how they did that. And if you pay close attention, if you pay very, very, very close attention, one of the reporters / I'll call her a reporter, is standing on our left of her, and what she does, what she does to make us as an audience be more amazed at the fact that we're looking at somebody wearing a dress that is what's happening to it. Watch what the reporter does, because that is really cool. And if you've already seen the movie, right? How cool is that? Like, if you picked up on that is. But if you didn't and you've seen this movie, go back and rewatch it, because check out what the reporter does. It's really, really clever. Now, without further ado, I'm gonna segue the same character into when she's hanging. I'll call it a moon bed. When she's hanging from the moon bed singing the song, what they do to her character when she's singing, hanging from the moon bed. When you see it, you'll get it, and you'll be like, oh yeah. Again, something really simple, something just so, tiny, but I really, really love when they do that sort of effect in a cinema. It just makes me go, wow, because it's so creative. Like, it just is so unbelievably creative. And it's just something us as an audience, we're just not expecting, but it's so, so, so well done in this film, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So in this movie, when she's swinging from, you know, the moon-shaped chair, Shia LaBeouf's character, I think you pronounce it Claudio. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Anyway, I loved his character in this movie. His character in this movie, it's almost like you could tell that Shia LaBeouf was born to play that character. He was so good. He was so creative. He was so authentic. And I bought it every single moment of his character in this movie. Like, it just worked so well. Like, he just owned it. So while she's singing along or whatever, his character, and he has a sidekick, but I can't remember his sidekick's name in it. Anyway, that's kind of irrelevant. His sidekick and him, sidekick and him, they bribe someone to do something, and they're trying to set up Caesar. Like, they're trying to, you know, make him look like he's done something or whatever. Now, I haven't got into Caesar's character yet, because I want to talk about him for a little bit, and that's Adam Driver, because that's awesome. But what they do and what they reveal. Now, if you've seen this movie, I'm really curious. Post your comment in the comment section below if you thought the same thing, because I'm really genuinely curious. And I could be completely wrong here, but I thought that the video that they showed when Hope Sunny is singing, what they reveal in the video, what they sort of show, what they air, you'll see it. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you've already seen it, you know what I'm saying. I dead set thought that was Kate Hudson. Like 1000%. I thought that was Kate Hudson. I did not realize in any way, shape or form that it was Sunny Hope Catalina. I did not think it was her in any way, shape or form. And she, you know, made it out to be like that, but it looked like Kate Hudson, like big time. And again, I could be wrong, but I watched it on Blu-ray. Like, I didn't see it in the cinemas. So I was able to pause it, and it looked like Kate Hudson, like 100%. It is so subjective, it's not funny. And I'm not saying it was Kate Hudson, but watch it for yourself, because I'm interested to see what you think about that, because it was pretty awesome. I'm going to talk about Wow Platinum, played by Aubrey Plaza. Now, her character in this is just... It's kind of Aubrey Plaza, like it is, because she just has those mannerisms, those facial expressions and stuff like that in most of the movies that she's in. But in this movie, it's so intentional. Like, it really, really is. And I'm going to talk about something to do with her character in a little bit, and to actually do with what happens in a scene with her and Hamilton later. And I wonder if you picked up on it. It's kind of, it was obvious, but of just like, I wonder if people saw that. Anyway, Aubrey Plaza in this movie she's just her. Like, it's almost like she wasn't even acting. And I don't know if that's even a bad thing, or, you know, what you could say about that. But she just owned the role, like, without even trying. Like, I really genuinely mean that. She absolutely brings a whole new level of character to her character in this movie, and I kind of appreciated more over anything, like the title of the name that they gave to her, like Wow Platinum. Like, it just worked. Like, it really, really did. And there's certain things, especially at the start of the movie, where her character is really, really putting on the character in a weird way of saying that. But then, like later on, she kind of finds, because of what happens with her character, she kind of finds her feet a little bit more, in a weird way of saying that. And it really worked. Like it really worked. Like for a movie like of the you know, like a runtime of 2 hours and 18 minutes, like you saw at the beginning of this movie review. Like, you would honestly think in an essence that playing a role like that, especially of the length and the caliber of this movie, you kind of feel the depreciation, like a little bit. But she held it hard. Like, she held it strong. And I'll talk about character chemistry in a minute, because everyone knows I love about character chemistry. But I'll talk about that in a second. But she genuinely brought, like she just did. There were so many things throughout this movie when she was on screen that she really, she held her own in this movie. And it was amazing, especially, like I said, of what her character was. So Julia, played by Natalie Emmanuel, this scene, I thought this was really clever. When she walks into the mayor's office, and the mayor, played by Carlo Esposito, the way that they made his desk look and what it was doing, oh man, you guys, I 100% was like, I don't know why I like that so much. I don't know why. It was so simple, yet so unbelievably, ridiculously impressive. And I was just like, that's really cool. Like, it was just so good. Like, honestly, there's so many things in this movie that grab your attention, like really grab your attention. Like, oh man, that is so creative and so well done. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Adam Driver, Caesar, played by Adam Driver, for a little bit, because he's the main character of this movie. He is the driving force behind this movie, and there's so many things in this movie, and I just need to talk about something that confused the pants out of me. I didn't fall asleep in this movie, I know I didn't, but it just flipped me, because I was like, what? How did I miss that? Like, what is going on right now? Something happens in this movie with a child named Sam, and Caesar is sitting in the back of a car. No spoilers, just letting you know. When you see it, I personally think that you're going to see it coming a mile away. Something happens to him when he's sitting in the car, and then, you know, later on, they majorly have animations, CGI done to his face, okay? What I didn't understand is at the tail end of this movie, Adam Driver all of a sudden is like completely normal again. And I was just like, and that really threw me off, because they never showed a graduation in the features or whatever to go back to what he was. And that really made me, I just didn't understand why they didn't show the progression of that. It was kind of weird. But when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you have seen it already, did I miss something? Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anything, but it was just, it kind of made no sense. Like, it was awesome, don't get me wrong, it was awesome, but it was just a weird element to his character. Like, not bad, just weird. However, other than that effect that they did with his character visually, Adam Driver really owns this film as being the main character. He is so sensationally brilliant in this movie, guys. Truly. If you like Adam Driver in any degree whatsoever, then you're going to love him in this movie. Like, I in my personal opinion, guys, because he really just owns it. It's just so much of his character, and so just a wellspring of just acting brilliance in this movie that you'll see. Like, he just takes you through the waves of just acting presence. And it's kind of funny, because I wasn't really a fan of him. I know this is totally random, but I really wasn't a fan of him at being, I think he plays Kylo Ren in Star Wars. I wasn't a fan of him in that, especially when he took the mask off. Like, the menacing element to his character completely disappeared for me in that movie, and I think that was the biggest mistake that they made in Star Wars. However, he doesn't have that in this movie, but they do something to his face in this movie, and it's really well done. So, earlier in this movie review, I was talking about Sunny Hope Catalina, and I don't know, I kind of don't know, I don't really understand why they did this, but there's a sequence in the movie where there's like fire spinning around in circles and text coming towards us. That really felt like the end of this movie, and it is not at all. But it really felt like the end of this movie for me. And when it was coming at me, spinning around, I literally was like, I thought there was a lot more to this movie than that sequence. And there is. But that really felt like the end of the movie. It was just bizarre. This is a little tiny bit random. I know it is. But nonetheless, I thought it was awesome. What the mayor sees in the dream sequence, oh man, like I said, it was so simple, it was so subtle, it didn't even last very long, but just the way they did it was so visually creative. And I mean, this movie in itself is visually, it's just a visual masterpiece of epic proportion. Like, it truly is. And the fact that they've captured so much of this in camera is just outstanding. But what the mayor sees in the dream sequence was so cool. So there's a sequence in this movie where violins are playing and they're very, very dominant in this movie. One of the things that really, really, really made me stand out, though I honestly think it was almost the exact same tune, like it was the exact same melody, using a violin, was actually from a sequence from Man of Steel. Like genuinely, wholeheartedly, that took me back to Man of Steel, because it was so similar to the point where I actually think it was the exact same. I think it's called melody. Like, I'm pretty sure it was. Like, it was so similar. And I love that sequence in Man of Steel. I could be completely wrong, but it fully reminded me of that. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. It was so beautifully done. So I'm going to talk about something bad for a second here. And I wasn't a fan of this scene at all. And I'm a little tiny bit surprised that they didn't cut it from the movie, because it dropped the ball. I mean, it really dropped the ball for me. When Caesar and the mayor are sitting in the office in the corner of the room, that scene dropped the ball so hard for me. That, honestly, if they took that out of the movie, I honestly would say to you guys, it would have made the movie so much more smoother. But that scene, like, I was mentally tapping out truly at that scene. Like, it just did not work for me, and I just was not a fan. I know this is an unusual thing to bring up, but when Caesar gives Wow Platinum the jacket, because she's intentionally cold and he knows she's cold, and he takes one of the layers of jackets off and gives it to her, the jacket that he's wearing underneath that, he's got like a zip up hoodie on. Oh man, I would love to get my hands on that. Oh, I love the pattern of that. I don't know what it was, but it kind of reminded me of the textuality of the black Superman in the Justice League movie that Zack Snyder did, like the 4-hour version of it. It fully reminded me of that, and I just the texture of it. Oh man, if I could get my hands on that, I would buy that in a heartbeat. That was an awesome jacket. Now, earlier in this review, I was talking about a scene in this movie where the character Hamilton, he gets out of bed. He's getting out of bed, and a scene has happened just before that where something messed up really happens to Wow Platinum. I want to know something serious. Did you notice who was laying on the ground, who was still laying on the ground in that sequence? Have a look. you might miss it. It's a very simple and quick scene, but there's someone laying on the ground, and I wonder if you noticed it, because I noticed it. I was like, why is that person still laying on the ground? Like, it was kind of creepy, but obviously it was like the direct scene straight after that scene, and then you see what happens to Shia LaBeouf's character as well. Like, it's crazy. But like I said, guys, there is a slew, an absolute juggernaut characters in this movie, actors, A-list actors in this movie. It is unbelievable. I'm going to wrap this movie review up on that note, guys. I really appreciate you watching my thoughts on Megalopolis. If you've had your opportunity to go and see this film, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear back from you. I know that this has been a massive review. I understand that entirely, guys, but clearly it was worth it because this movie is so mammoth. It is absolutely unbelievable. But I appreciate you guys sticking around so much. Thank you. And like I said at the start of this movie review, if you haven't already, guys, I would value it so much if you go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be really kind of you. I'd really appreciate that. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like. Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. That'd be amazing. I appreciate you so much. So much, guys. And don't forget, guys, who's bringing this movie review for Megalopolis. Guys, this is Superman Steve. Appreciating you always and loving your time. Yeah, Joel, this one's for you. Flying out!